Bought a lt230 Suzuki off of Craigslist for $160. Well, you can't expect a whole lot for $160, but I give you a going over of things that's wrong with it, and I might do something with this thing, but haven't really decided what yet. I'm going to make some other videos of the other bikes I have, and you'll see that my bikes are like hybrids. There's a lot of things that's customized to fit other parts on, that's not meant to be on it, but it's fab to fit, to save money and, get the thing running. And as long as I own them, I guess I always know what's on it and how to fix it. But the things that was wrong with this was the rings was bad, smoked pretty bad, and the carburetor's messed up. When you see the carburetor, you can see straight through it. So probably the piston isn't set down in it right. I haven't taken it apart, but it's not supposed to be like that. Usually there's one way that thing goes in it, and obviously somebody didn't know what they was doing. So maybe a clean in and put it together the right way probably will work. Pretty simple. Now the top end, I don't know if you can see it in here, but somebody ran out of oil and galded the bearing or journals for the cam. So needs a new head. There's no timing chain tension, so the timing chain needs replaced. Looking at with the head, I found a head and the valve cover for $100, and piston and ring and gasket kit for the top end is around $100. Now, when I went to drain the oil, because I couldn't get the top end all the way apart, being in the bike, so I decided to drain the oil so it wouldn't make a mess everywhere, and there was no oil in it. It was completely bone dry, so there might be more issues with the bottom end that I can't really tell right now because it was ran out of oil. The bottom end of a motorcycle engine is pretty durable. All the shafts have roller bearings. Connecting rod has needle bearings, so they can run without oil for a while, as far as bottom end wise, and not cause any damage. And the top end, right away, if it doesn't have oil pressure, it will damage this stuff. So right now I'm kind of caught up into whether or not I should even do anything with this, because it would cost a couple $100 to even get it to see if it's any good. But other things with the bike, the steering stem, you can definitely see this bent. I can usually press those and put them in a press and straighten them out, but this one's got a lot of weld right here, like it's been broke off. I priced it on eBay like $25, which is a pretty good deal. And the front end, you can see the A-arm right here is completely bashed, and when the whole thing's kind of bent, overall, instead of just being bashed, the whole thing's kind of bent. And let's see, another thing I really don't care about this is most of these 80s bikes, it's really super narrow in the front and wider in the back. You usually want it to be the other way around so you can steer the thing, because the ATVs are posi, so it makes it hard to turn anyways. You usually want your front end to be wider. But if I do anything with this thing, I'll probably do something to try to widen the front end out. Something else I noticed, which I thought was odd when I went out to look at it, is it has a 3-bolt pattern on the back. I looked this bike up, and it's supposed to be, I think, 130 millimeter by 4. So somebody's obviously switched out some hubs in the back. Usually, a lot of these things are compatible as far as the spline. Somebody looks like 3-wheeler, like a ATC Honda hubs, because I know they was 3-bolt pattern. Somebody just got lucky and wanted to throw some different tires on, and well, these splines will fit. Something of that nature. There's no brakes on this bike. The front master cylinder is shot. I don't know anything about the brake calipers on the front, but something's going on with the back. I don't know if it's low on brake fluid or if the master cylinder is shot back here too. I don't know. Alright. The thing that's bad about this is, you go and spend the money to rebuild that, and then you discover this thing leaks all over the place. A lot of my bikes don't have, I just do away with the rear brake. Especially on the manuals, any manual bike, you can just downshift it and use your fronts. Usually not much of a problem. You go and spend a couple $100 just to get something that you can just downshift to get anyway. I mean, if you lock up your back brakes on a standard, you're just going to stall it, so I don't really see much use for them. And another thing I don't like about back brakes on these is that, well, usually the rotor has a bunch of little holes in it, which helps the rotor to stay cool. It'll pick up gravels and stuff that you pick up in the mud, and then run it through the brake pad, and you're like constantly changing brake pads. So it's like more issues than what you really need to have, in my opinion. I mean, if you was flying 90 mile an hour or something, you definitely want some back brakes, but most of the time I'm just running around in fields. The rear swing arm looks like it has a patch on it. I'm probably going to take it off to see how bad, if it's broke on the bottom or anything. I've seen a few of these arms on eBay, and other people's welded them. So maybe it's just a bad spot for them. Don't really like to see the patch on there, but it looks like it's been on there for a long time, so maybe it's a good, good to go kind of thing. Grab bar's bent. Other things I've seen on here. That's pretty much the gist of the shifter. The way because the shifter comes out so far on the front of the motor, they had to put this little arm in here with like tie rod ends on it to make it so that the shifter could be in the right position. All of those are shot. I mean, it's really bad. And I can't seem to find these little parts. Maybe a dealer might have them, but I couldn't find them like on eBay or anything. And the case. A lot of chain damage. JB Weld. A lot of welding. They did a really nice job welding it. All kinds of weld up in here. So that side case cover would probably need to be changed. If I did do anything with this motor, I'd probably just do what I had to get it running and see if it's worth putting any more money in. But this cover would probably need to be changed if it was going to be a good to go kind of thing. And well, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching.